knew it was going to be inevitable that I bring you here today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I mean, I didn't really want you to be here. I just figured I would give you a shot to, let all of my 12 followers hear what you have to say.
Yeah, and you probably need some more followers, so I'm happy to grace you with my presence.
All of the people that you know?
All the 5 people. I might get you up to 17, maybe.
Well, that'll be good, but they gotta like and follow. You know how you always see on people's videos where they say like and follow?
Yeah, but so I don't post things. I'm one of those weird people that I don't post anything on social media. I usually, I'm one of those creeps that just wants to watch funny things and see what my, see what my friends are doing. I don't have any friends. I have colleagues and people I consider friends, but
that's what I said in a different episode is that I'm a Facebook stalker.
Yeah.
So I don't actually
Other people are so much more entertaining than me. I really don't know why you invited me here, but
I don't know either. I'm starting to regret my decision right
yeah,
now.
that's probably smart.
But yeah, I got on Facebook for the Fairview Social podcast, and I'm like, I need some more followers. And then I was like, oh, you have to do things to get people to follow. So
yeah, I don't think people really want to know what I have to say. They don't really. I say plenty. They don't feel like they want to hear any more than that. But I do have some questions for you. Once you invited me to join your little shindig here, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
I have some questions for you. First of all, I want to know why you have to wear a hat and not show the people what you really look like underneath there.
Okay. Well,
why don't you show the people the real truth about you, Tim Hollis?
Apparently, you have not watched episode number 2 with Bert Hester.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't have a hat on.
Oh, okay.
And it's fine.
How long ago was that? Does it look like it does now?
Well, I mean, I got out of the shower a little while ago, and I put a hat on.
Okay. My other question for you.
Well, wait a minute. What is your obsession with? You want to see my hair?
Listen. No, you already know where I go with this because I bring this up to you every time I see you, just about.
About how I'm getting old and balding some?
No, it's not about balding.
Okay.
It's about grooming.
Grooming.
So, because I bought you a gift many, many years ago, and you have never used it.
You're talking about that stupid iron.
Yes, and also I want to know why you chose this logo for your podcast, because the logo is a very nice, clean.
It is.
Groomed person. Only for people to get excited, like, ooh, let me see what this is about. And then,
and then they see
cue
me.
up the camera, and they're like, oh,
okay.
Disappointment.
Well, let me address all of these things, since apparently...
I've been thinking about this.
You being my sister-in-law, you would think that I would have more support from you than I have.
I would support your...
And I've said this in 2 other podcasts that you obviously have not listened to, so I'm going to say it again. The logo that you see here... is before I started filming the first episode, I said, oh, I guess I need a logo. And I was like, I'm not going to put myself on there because I look like an idiot.
Well,
we've established that. So I went to ChatGPT and I put in, I need a logo for a podcast with a silhouette of my face. And
that's what it came up with?
And so I uploaded a picture, a black and white picture of me, and it did.
How long ago?
I don't know, a month or 2 ago. I know that doesn't look like me, Kimmy. But so I put that in.
Because he's handsome.
I put that in place. I was like, as a placeholder. And then I was like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do.
I mean,
just like the name.
It's pleasant to look at.
Yes, it's not. It's
nice.
It's fine. There's a lot of things that I would like to be different on it, but
I think it's fine.
But then on top of that, the whole name of the podcast, the Fairview Social. Now, there's things that are wrong with this. Let me tell you what some of those things are. For starters, I'm not social at all.
Correct.
Same. I was actually talking to Joseph about this yesterday. I said, I only want to be social when I want to be social.
Right.
So that's why I started this.
Because there's times that you have to be social, so you have to push yourself.
I know.
And
kind of like I'm doing right now.
Right. We have to put effort into being social, and then it exhausts us.
Yes,
and
it's very exhausting.
Yeah.
Even when I knew that you were coming over here, I was like, God, I don't even want to do this, and that was on my own terms.
I know you asked for this.
I know. I asked you to come over, and then I immediately regretted my decision because I don't really want to talk to you.
That's right.
But don't take it personally because I don't really want to talk to anybody.
How many of our interactions are that way, though? Where
all of them.
All of them. All of them.
So anyway,
the history of time.
Back to the logo and the Fairview Social.
But we're kind of stuck because we're family now.
I know that's true. But the logo and the name of the podcast are not permanent. They're just what is happening right now. Mm-hmm. Now,
they're both very misleading to who is running.
Yeah, I know. They're very misleading for who I am. But it's funny because I was listening. This is the complete story of it. I was listening to another podcast, and there was a dude on there. He was like one of the biggest VJs of MTV back in like 1993 or 94. And the last thing he said in this podcast, he's like, if you want to start a podcast, just take the low-hanging fruit and talk about stuff that's going on around your town. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and so then I started thinking about Fairview then and now, and I was like, well, there's a lot of people on that.
Yeah.
But then, like, you got to post on there to get anybody to watch it, and I'm not going to do that.
Right.
So if somebody else does it, then that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I'm not very social.
Yeah.
I am in Fairview.
Right.
That logo does not look like me.
No, correct.
So basically, everything is a lie.
Everything's a lie.
I mean, what? I don't know what else to do.
That's okay. As long as you admit it, that's fair. We're all on the same page.
Well,
I also want to know, do you clean these now that it's touching
clean the
my
headphones?
face?
Absolutely not.
Of course, great, fantastic.
Well, there's only been like 6 or 7 people before you that have had them on, so it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Maybe I'll make a note of that. Then I should start cleaning them between people.
Yeah, that's probably a smart idea.
No. So I had a couple notes here about you.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
I'll start with the bottom one.
Okay.
And it's...
it's about how old I am?
No, it's, why are you so cranky? Why? Or
That's a good question.
The other one is, why are you so awful?
Yeah, good questions. Very good questions.
All right. I think the world would like to hear.
I feel like everyone for the history of my lifetime would like to know the answer to those questions, including myself. I feel like I'm a delight. I don't know what your interpretation is, but no, I definitely am not the easiest to get along with. That's for sure.
I speak for the rest of humanity when I say that you are basically
the worst person in the world.
I was going to try to sound nice to you on here because...
Well, don't let me interrupt.
Because people are going to be like, God, you're really mean to her. But she's really mean to me. She's just pretending like she's being nice.
No, absolutely. I am excited for the 17 people to truly understand what the beauty of our relationship.
Okay.
It is very entertaining for those that get it.
Is it? Is it though?
Nikki loves it. She thinks it's hilarious.
She probably thinks that I'm an idiot and you're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, you more than me, but probably. Yeah. And I am just baffled every time, every anniversary that comes around. I'm like, wow, he's still in there.
You know what? Wow. Out of all, you know what? Let's go off on this little trail here.
Because she's definitely
not
the lucky one in the relationship.
Out of all the men that have come across your family.
Yes, no, okay.
Hold on, let me finish.
Sure, go ahead.
I've been married to your sister for 22 years.
Yes.
Coming up here in a couple weeks, in a week or so.
Next week?
In all of those years, there's been lots of men that have come through.
Say lots.
The Capraro family.
We don't need to put everybody out there.
But
you have been consistent.
That's what I was going to say.
You've been consistent.
I've been the only consistent one.
I will say something nice about you, and this is going to probably make me
vomit. I'm consistent?
No, this is probably going to make me vomit. So I'm going to try to be
all right.
Controlled when I say this.
Be controlled.
Okay. I've seen my sister with a lot of people. You, I will say, are the one who truly knows how to love her when others never knew. So I guess that's how you keep her roped in, I guess. I don't know what your tricks are, but you've got her, and you guys are wonderful, and I wouldn't change it. And plus, I couldn't talk shit to any person and them take it so nicely as you do.
I appreciate you saying kind things.
I don't really know. It's difficult for me to say nice things to you.
It's difficult for me to hear nice things from you. So
yeah,
I appreciate all of those things, but the reality is I know I'm consistent.
You're consistent. You're consistently not groomed. I don't get this. Just like try to make it look.
Why?
I don't know. For my own.
So you did get me that beard.
This beard straightener.
Beard straightener. Mm-hmm. So here's how that played out. I got the beard straightener. I was like, oh, I'm going to try this out. This will be nice. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you go look in my truck right now, it's in the console.
Really?
Because Nikki's like, you should just put it in your console and do it while you're on.
She wants you to do it.
Probably, but I did it one time, and it was all straight and looked worse than like it being.
Because you did it wrong. And also, like this part needs to be just lined up. Just really like look at your logo. He's nice and groomed and trimmed, and his is mostly straight.
I think I look fine. Also, there's that picture of me without my hat on.
Yeah, I guess, but it don't look like that now.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, so why are you so cranky?
That's a good question. I don't think anyone knows the answer to that.
Because when I first met Nikki, she was telling me about how, like you're all these great things.
She said that about me?
But you're a bitch.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I was going to say, because I've had that label in our family for as long as I can remember.
Well, I mean, it's well-deserved.
I mean, for sure, I earned it.
'Cause you
not
are
on purpose. Awful. It's just my natural way, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm just not worried about tiptoeing around people's feelings. I'm very straightforward.
You are straightforward.
Yeah. And you take it or leave it. That's fine. I'm not gonna lose sleep I might think about it a few times if I hurt somebody's feelings, but I'm just honest. And that's what Nikki loves about me too, because we've had, her and I have been the closest. We used to pretend that we were twins when we were little. We used to spy on our brothers and sisters, and we had fun.
I don't think that she really likes you though.
I think she does.
No.
I think she does.
So anyway, you still didn't answer.
I don't know
why you're awful.
I don't know the answer. I've been that way my whole life.
Yeah, I know. And I guess
it's a gift.
We've learned to deal with it. Here's another thing that we've had to learn to deal with.
It's kind of like survival of the fittest. Like if you can handle that, we're gonna be good. If you can get past the bitchy exterior, we'll be fine.
Here's the other thing that people.
But if you easily get your feelings hurt, it's probably not gonna work out.
Here's the other thing that people don't like about you.
Okay, great.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Maybe we should just play this game of like things that people.
Let's do it.
And what it really means is
Love it.
What I don't like about you.
Fantastic. I'm game.
All right. So there's a known thing in your family called Kimi time.
Yes. Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody what Kimi time is?
Well, let me tell you. This has been around since I was
the dawn of time.
Yeah, before I was responsible for my own time. Even when I was a little child, I have always been the last one ready. I was the one that was left home alone one day when my parents were getting all 6 of us to church one Sunday, and I was looking for the shoe I couldn't find, and then they left without me. And so I stayed home and watched Sesame Street because I was little. And then they counted the head count because there were so many of us. That's how we kept up with, do we have everybody?
So it sounds to me like it was like Home Alone at your house.
Yeah, kind of like. And so I've always been the last one out of bed, the last one ready, always the procrastinator for the history of time. And so now they've coined the phrase Kimi time. Back, I was probably, I don't know, middle school, high school, something like that. I don't know how old I was, but they coined the phrase Kimi time because that means you have to tell me that something is scheduled 30, 45 minutes sooner than it actually is.
But you'll still be late.
If I know that that's what they're doing, then yes.
Well, here's the thing that I don't understand. You make a conscious effort to say.
I learned the name.
If you said to yourself, you know what, I'm going to get to this thing on time. Mm-hmm. Why don't you do it?
So there's an effort. I do.
Do you get to work on time?
Yes. Well, my time's flexible. So
is it Kimi time for work, or is it
it's whatever time I get there? But I'm usually pretty consistent on when I get there. Yeah, I got talked to one time about being late back when I was a brand new baby nurse, and then that was it. I was on time ever since then.
So why can't you do that out of respect for people that are having events?
I try. There's this. So I learned this as I've now been an adult for a long time. Somebody else in another department told me that their associate came in with a note from their doctor.
Yeah.
Because the associate has something called time blindness. And he said, that's it. That's what I have. I have that.
So now you're going to like try to take that.
I Googled it. I have it.
Time blindness.
Kimi time is also called time blindness. Whatever.
Well, it sounds to me it's just being disrespectful of.
It's not intentionally disrespectful. I do try. I misgauge the amount of time it takes to get ready. I think I can get ready faster than it actually takes. And I misgauge the amount of time it takes to get to a place because I've gotten there in a certain amount of time, so I think I can always get there in that amount of time, and it never works out.
Kimmy,
I'm telling you.
You are a grown woman.
Correct.
And as an adult, you need to say, hey, there could be these things that happen on the road. There could be an accident. There could be some traffic happening. And so in your mind, as an adult, you need to say, hey, I need to leave a few minutes earlier. Or, hey, I know it's going to take me this much time in the morning to get ready. How is that, as a grown person, how are you unable to still get anywhere on time?
Listen, let's give me some credit. Because
no, let's not.
No, let me tell you. There has been at least twice that I have been here before anybody else. I know at least twice. I've gotten here first on time because people have celebrated it.
In a 22-year marriage to my wife, you said there's been 2 times that
I can remember. And that's probably all there is. But also... there's the phrase like fashionably late.
Well, you're not that.
Well, I used to justify being on Kimi time because I learned that phrase when I was a teenager.
So you thought that you could just be fashionably late to everything.
Well, it wasn't like intentional, but I was like, it's okay if I'm 5 minutes late because it's just
fashionably. No, it's annoying.
Yeah, I'm sure to you it is, and to most people.
Well, the way that I was brought up is that if you're on time, you're late. Oh. So you need to be wherever you're going 10 to 15 minutes early. I will sit in my car for 30 minutes to make sure that.
Gross.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So when I was brought up, it was.
Well, the rest of your family's not like this, so this isn't the way you were brought up. But
also. My mom and dad were always scrambling to get 6 kids ready in a short amount of time. And so they were bound to not have everybody first. I was usually the difficult one to deal with. And so I was the last because I took the most effort.
It just sounds like you're making excuses.
Probably. I have no explanation. This is just how I've been forever.
Yeah, I know. And so... That's fine. We'll continue to deal with it. Okay,
let's bring up the next topic that you hate about me. Let's do that.
No, I don't have any more.
Oh, that's it?
Only the things that only those things are. I mean, that's pretty good.
Those are good. They're big.
You're awful. You're cranky.
They're big hitters. Yeah.
And the fact that you don't know how to tell time is unfortunate. So. Just like actually today, you were supposed to be here at 12 and you rolled up in here.
Wrong. If you look at our messages, I said I had a hair appointment at 12 and I would be there after.
Okay. But yesterday when I was texting you.
Yesterday, I have the text message and I said I have a hair appointment at 12.
That was this morning. That was this morning.
It was yesterday also.
Pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up.
I'm excited for this.
What? To show that you're an idiot?
No, to show you. And let's see. Let me go backwards.
Well, I got it right here. You said today at 11:37. My hair appointment is at 12. So after that.
So wait, let's go back. Let's go back to yesterday where I said, or actually this was probably Thursday. What day was this?
Okay. Okay. Afternoon of work after my hair appointment. It's at noon.
Boom. Boom. What?
All right. I guess I was wrong.
Thank you.
You know what? Unlike you, I'll admit when I'm wrong.
I admit when I'm wrong. I do.
All right, since this is the Fairview Social Podcast, I guess we need to talk about Fairview a little bit.
Okay. I live in it.
Which I think that moving forward, we can people that come on here can talk about Fairview if they want, but you know, I don't know what else there is to say about it. I've talked to several people, and we've talked about, you know, years ago, and now so you've lived here. You came from Michigan. Actually, you lived here before? Yeah, you and your family, and then you moved to Michigan.
So we moved to Tennessee when I was about 8 years old, and we moved to Centerville, to Hickman County.
Okay.
When I was 8 years old, so I was like, it was the second half of third grade for me, and then we stayed in Centerville, Hickman County until I graduated high school. Moved to Michigan shortly after, and then
why'd you move back to Michigan?
My mom was moving. I lived with her. We moved.
Okay.
Lived there for 2 years and then came back to Tennessee. Lived in Fairview at that point. That's where I've been.
And now you're back.
Yeah. I never left. I've been here since.
You've been in Fairview. You just bought a house in Fairview recently. Oh, yeah. It
was 5 years ago, but I was also in rental houses before that.
Right. I forgot about that.
I was your freaking neighbor.
No doubt.
Jesus.
Did you watch Brandy's episode?
No.
They call that the slums down there on Penn Grove. You're basically Penn Grove because you were living in that house.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were living in the slums.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Well, I was living in the slums too.
Yeah.
So whatever. So anyway, you've got 3 girls and I got 3 boys. I remember when me and Nikki first got married, I was like, man, I want to have a girl more than anything in the world.
She wanted a girl when we used to talk about this when we were younger. She wanted a girl. I wanted a boy first. I always wanted a boy and a girl, but I wanted to have, you know, the boy first and then the girl, and that didn't work out. I ended up with 3 girls, and when I found out the third one was a girl, I told my ex that he was fired because he doesn't know how to make a boy. And then
well, we wanted to have a girl, and then you had 3 girls and we had 3 boys.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with how it worked out. Because after going through all of life's things and seeing what you guys went through with the boys and what I went through with the girls, I wouldn't know how to handle a boy. The girls were fine. I mean, they were a challenge, but they were fine. They're all adults now.
No, it's not fun. Boys are a lot better than girls.
I hear people say that.
Now, I like your kids. I'm not saying that I dislike them. I'm just saying that
the act of raising them.
Raising boys seems like it's easier than raising girls. For a guy.
I hear that a lot.
For a guy. So, I'm glad that I have boys. I guess you're glad that you have girls.
I am.
All right, what else? What do you want to talk about?
You're the host.
You want to make fun of my beard some more?
No.
Or my hair?
I already did that.
Okay. What else?
That's old news. How about that we're both grandparents now?
I know. I was going to say I haven't seen you in a long time because you have one little grandbaby, and then you fall off the face of the earth.
That's right.
Which you weren't very social before.
That's right.
You weren't the Fairview social before.
For sure not.
But you're definitely not now.
No.
So what do you think about being?
I want like Daphne and Alex to have their time so that I can be at home with the grandbaby and we get to spend all the time together.
Why?
I don't know. I just want to.
You just want to spend time with a grandbaby?
Yeah. I mean, not all the time. Like I'm leaving next weekend to go to a wedding in Minnesota, but other than that, like, what do I got to do? I work and I'm at home. I don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
That's why I'm like, what am I going to talk about on Fairview Social? I don't do anything in Fairview but shop and live. That's what I do.
I mean, I'm good at doing that too.
Yeah. I come over here and we crack open the pool.
Yeah.
You know, that's about what we do.
I got in it yesterday.
You did?
I did. It's a little chilly, but it's good.
I bet.
But yeah, having a grandbabies, I mean, it's weird to think that I'm a grandparent.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think that you're a grandparent.
I know.
But it's much better than being a parent.
Much better. It's so much more fun.
Because
let me tell you how many times a day I'm cracking up because it's just listening to Daphne and Alex figure out life together and figuring out parenting together and, you know, just listening to how frustrated the two of them get with each other sometimes.
Yeah.
And I get to be on the outside. Like, they're figuring it out. They're doing fine.
Well, yeah, that's just going to be their life for a long time. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't, like a lot of couples don't make it through that.
I know.
Because it's easier just to walk away from it. But As a grandparent, you just get to do the fun thing.
Stuff. Yeah, the fun stuff.
I mean, I don't know. Well, how old is the baby now?
She just turned 1.
She just turned 1, so you got a little while before she can like do things and have fun. And
yep. Mm-hmm.
Run.
She's fun. She's fun now. She's hilarious.
What do you call yourself? Nani?
Mimi.
Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go see with Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go see Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
Like Freya with me. I always picture. I don't want to hang out with Grampy. He's grumpy.
Grampy is grumpy. Why are you so grumpy all the time? That's a good question.
I'm not grumpy.
Sir.
Name one time I'm grumpy.
Sir. Let's be honest now. Why are you so grumpy?
Well, I'm grumpy because, okay, let me tell you why, Kimmy. I spend half my life in pain because my feet always hurt.
What an excuse.
So I'm grumpy for that.
What happened before you had the pain? You were grumpy before that.
I wasn't grumpy before that. I might have been a little unpleasant from time to time. I mean, I can't remember those times that I've ever been grumpy. You have a specific situation?
Like every time I see you. maybe it's me. Maybe it's because
you know what?
I bring it out of you.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
It might be.
All right. So what else?
I'll own that. You're the host, sir.
Yeah, you're right. I am. We could talk about how Mimi spends too much time with the baby.
There's no such thing.
Not enough time with her, for herself.
That is time for myself.
You need to go out and find you a man or something.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, Lord.
No, absolutely not.
So are you like turning into one of those like raging lesbians?
No, I have no interest in a relationship.
Okay.
I have no interest in a relationship of any kind. I am just living for me right now, and it is the best. I'm the happiest ever.
Nah, I don't know about that.
I don't need another person to make me whole. I am whole.
Maybe that's why you're cranky.
Maybe. I don't know.
It could be. You know what?
I don't feel cranky. I feel fine. I feel like people interpret me as cranky, but I am not in a cranky mood. I'm perfectly happy.
No, you're not. But anyway,
Oh.
So what are you watching on TV right now?
Well, what I have not started watching, which is my next item to watch, is The Pit.
Oh, I just finished it.
You did? I have not watched it. Don't tell me.
I'm not gonna tell you, but The Pit is cool because
I've heard it's the most real thing you'll see.
I had to turn away on some of the things because it's on HBO, so it's not like on regular TV where it's edited. Right. But what's cool about it is that all of you people that are a little bit older and used to watch 24, how every hour is like, in real time.
An hour of the shift, yeah.
It does it in The Pit. It does every hour of the shift. And so the episode, they come out on Thursdays, and I just watched the most recent. And honestly, because I thought that doctors and nurses worked like 12 or 14-hour shifts. Is it 12 hours?
12. But you don't always get exactly 12. It's usually people are working over. So
I thought there was going to be 12 episodes. And so then this big emergency thing happens, and so it keeps going. So I thought it was going to end at 12. So I thought when I was watching the 12th episode, it was about to be over. But now I just finished watching the 14th episode.
There's one more.
And it's still not over.
No.
So I guess it's going to be a 15-hour shift. But anyway, the show is really good.
That's what I hear. All my colleagues are watching it, and they're like, "You've got to watch it."
There's like a scene. I won't give too much away, but there's all kinds of different. It's funny because it's almost like they're like, "Hey, since we're on HBO, we're going to show you all of these things because." Like you've never seen it before. Right. Like on any other doctor show, you've never seen it.
Because they're not real.
Yeah. Well, I mean. Well, they're allowed to show more stuff on there, and so they showed this. There was this one scene where like they showed a whole like having a baby, and I was like, no, no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
it's not magical.
No.
Well, I mean, it was an emergency situation in the pit.
Well, and at our hospital, that's the only time you'll see a baby born is if it's an emergency. We don't do babies at our hospital.
Yeah, but that
we
shows.
Send them to our sister hospital down the street.
I've never, and you're probably going to make fun of me, but I've never watched ER. Have you?
I did back years ago when it was out. I only watched like a couple episodes.
But apparently that guy that was in ER.
Yeah, he's the main character.
He's like the main character in the Pit, which I've never even seen that guy before.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Isn't there like 400 seasons
You've seen
of
him
ER?
because he was on an episode of Friends, and you've seen those about 1,000 times.
I have. I was going to talk about that in a second. So what episode was he in?
He was
Friends?
in the ones with George Clooney.
Oh, when they were trying to date the girl.
Mm-hmm.
They were dating the girls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in there. And that was while they were on ER. That was the same time.
Yeah, because George Clooney was on ER.
Yeah.
What else are you watching?
I'm not really watching. We're watching baby shows.
God.
We're watching like Baby Einstein and.
You watching Miss Rachel?
Well, we've watched it a few times, yeah. And we watch Hey Bear is like a baby sensory show kind of thing. It's just like shapes and colors and stuff. We watch. I will watch The Office till the end of time. I will watch Friends until the end of time. I've seen every episode of both shows.
I've never seen one episode of The Office ever. I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh, it is.
And everybody tells me I need to watch it.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
I've never seen it before at all.
Oh my gosh, I quote it all the time.
But Friends, I can quote everything on Friends.
Same.
When we went to New York a few weeks ago, we went to the Friends.
I saw. I'm so jealous. That looks so much fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see it all. I probably, in retrospect, if we had like another day or something there, probably would have combed through because like I know all of the Friends things, and it's like a little museum of like, you know, all these dumb little, you know, like even notes or just things that in the show that nobody else would notice, but you're like, yeah, there's that thing.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
But I need to watch The Office.
Oh my God, you do. You do. It's so good.
I don't know. I'm just getting like...
But like some people don't get the humor.
Well, I'm sure I'll get the humor on it. I'm sure...
If you're smart enough.
if I'm smart enough. All right. Do you watch any... You probably don't watch anything on Apple TV, so I can't talk to you about that. Because... And maybe other people that are listening know that Severance is the best show on TV.
I've never heard of it.
You know, I don't know how you've not even heard of it. Well, then I'm not going to talk about it because it'll be like talking to a wall.
That's right.
Actually, the premise of it is people have these things implanted in their brain, and when they go into work, they go through this in the show, it's an elevator. They go down to the floor, and when they're in the elevator, it turns that chip on, and it basically, they don't know anything about their outie is the person that's outside and the innie. So imagine you're at work. Imagine you're at work, you go into the elevator, and then the next thing that happens is like the elevator opens again. It's like all you are is this person working. So the innie person, all they are...
That sounds stupid.
No, it's not stupid. You know what? You're stupid.
Okay.
You need to watch that show.
Okay. I'll have to come over more and watch it.
No, because you'll want to talk through it. In this show,
don't talk through shows.
Yeah, you do.
I do not.
You have to. You got to be able to sit there and pay attention.
I do that. I'm not the talker in shows and movies. I don't do that.
I don't know, man.
So you don't know me well enough.
I don't know. What other show do you watch?
That's it. I don't do anything.
You are the worst guest. You're the worst guest I've ever had on here.
I'm lame.
The worst person and the worst.
The worst person in the world.
The worst person and the worst guest. All right. Are you going to come swimming this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay. When?
Whenever. When it gets warm enough. And
it's warm enough now.
I mean, aren't we going to open that today?
Yeah.
Even though you already went in it.
70 degrees in there.
Nikki in the pool?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it today.
68. But
that's close.
It's not close. It's cold, but it's fine if you're in the sun. All right.
I didn't bring a change of clothes, but I can borrow Nikki's.
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt you're going to get in it, but
probably not.
The hot tub, I refilled it. It's good to go. You can do that.
Yeah, like immediately. We're going to be doing this like any day now.
Okay.
Probably when I get back from Minnesota, I would say.
So who's getting married in Minnesota?
A nurse that used to work for me. She's an incredible human being.
You're only saying that because you
No, I swear.
You might.
She's not going to see this.
Well, if you're doing your job, you could be like, "Hey, people that I know, listen to this podcast that
Nobody
I was on."
cares what I have to say.
I know.
Nobody cares.
It's become very clear that I
have not. I've not seen her since she worked for me. We're connected on social media, but it's very limited. But she is like, there's very few people that I.
So was she here and then she moved away?
Mm-hmm. She was here. She worked during COVID and prior to COVID. She put everything into being a nurse and into caring for our patients. And I guess she didn't get enough in return. And she got burnt out real fast and had to take a break from nursing. And then I think she eventually went back to it. I don't know exactly, but she is probably one of the most beautiful human beings that I've had the pleasure of working beside. So anyways, I was surprisingly invited to her wedding, which it was a shock to me. I was floored that I was, and I was honored enough to be invited. And I just really am excited to see her. And I'm not a hugger, but I just want to squeeze her so hard. That's all. I'm really looking forward to seeing her. But yeah, so she's getting married. She's just a person who loves love. She just is amazing. And so there's a group of us from work that are going to her wedding this next weekend. I'm really excited.
So who's going to help people if y'all are all gone?
I mean, there's plenty of people.
Because actually, I just thought of this.
I'm not even on the floor anymore.
I just thought about this. Like, what do I always say? Like, if I have a heart attack or something happens to me.
You're saying you're not coming to my hospital.
Yeah, I tell Nikki.
I'm like, well, you're dead because we are the best.
I know. St. Thomas is the best of them, and it's unfortunate that I have to go to a different hospital because you're taking up the space there.
That's right.
Because anytime
I am not the person working on the floor anymore. So you would be safe, I promise.
Anytime I ask, like, I have any kind of, just a softball medical question. Hey, Kimmy, what about this?
I don't know.
And you're like, hold on, and you Google it. I'm like, well, I could Google it myself.
Then why don't you?
Even in The Pit, there's a scene where the main character gets mad because somebody was Googling something.
Oh, I've seen the clip of that one. And that one is absolutely stupid.
So tell me this. So are all medical people just Googling everything as they go?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I know.
Well, then...
There are things that I know, but then there are things that I was taught and I don't remember. And then there's things that are not even in my world, so I have no clue. So
tell me about, like, the worst thing you ever saw at work.
I mean, we've seen people's limbs fall off.
I want to hear about it.
We've seen a toe come off of somebody in the bed.
A toe?
A black toe that fell off of somebody who was not black.
Okay. What, like gangrene or something?
Like, yeah, necrotic. Like it.
Well, that's kind of gross.
Just falls off. Yeah.
I mean, do you get people come in with like gunshot wounds?
No, we are not a trauma center.
I was gonna say because
we don't do trauma.
In The Pit, it's all like it's gunshot wounds all over the place.
Yeah, no trauma. Trauma is Vanderbilt and Centennial. We don't do trauma. There's not really a need for us to do trauma. We don't have.
So you don't do emergency room stuff.
No.
What do you do?
What I used to do and what my staff does is critical care. We're in the ICU.
Okay, so you're seeing people like almost about to die.
Yes.
Do you see people die regularly?
Yes.
Tell me about the COVID.
And people that we...
What about the COVID days?
That's a dark time. That's a really dark time.
It wasn't?
Yes. That's a triggering time for us.
Really?
Very dark. Very dark.
All I remember from that with you is like I remember I had to come pick you up or take you or something there for a little while. I think your car was getting worked on or something. And it's like you get in my car and I'm like, I don't like you've been around people with COVID all day. I don't want you sitting next to me and getting me sick because it'll kill me. And
it would kill you.
Since everybody else in my family died of COVID, I didn't want to be the next one.
Yeah, and it was the thing about COVID was there were times where it didn't make sense because the things that we knew about how to treat certain conditions were not working anymore, and we had to come up with new ways to treat these things where people that were clotting in places that we were like, they have a super therapeutic INR and PTT, which I know you don't know what that means, but we were anticoagulating these people to the best of our abilities and they were still throwing clots and it didn't make sense to us. So we were like, there has to be something in this virus that is connected differently in people's, in their genetic systems. And it was different. It was very odd.
Did they ever find like the common denominator that like, okay, we found this thing in all of these cases? Because me and Joseph were talking about when him and I did this podcast that how he was surprised at Nathan because he thought he was healthy, which Nathan was always like sick with like he'd get pneumonia and all these different things. So I think that his immune system was weakened and my dad's he was just unhealthy and his immune system's weakened. But like, did they ever find like the common denominator in it?
I don't know what they found because that's a doctor question, and I'm not a doctor. But I will tell you that there are lots of theories out there that there's a lot of people that believe that there is a possible genetic component where the virus attacks to a certain genetic feature, I guess. I don't really know the right way to say that. We don't really know. It's just a theory that's out there. And that there are certain people that may have a genetic component that may be more susceptible to this type of virus than other people. There are doctors that, like when my dad, if you remember my dad and stepmom, they had COVID and flu at the same time. My dad's really healthy. He takes really good care of himself. But it was during those times where we were really scared about all of that. So I was messaging one of our pulmonologists, and I was like, okay, my dad and stepmom both have flu and pneumonia. What do you advise? And what she gave me was supportive vitamins. You know, this is what I tell all of my patients that are out in the world that are not critically ill. This is what I tell them to take to support their bodies and support their immune systems to fight off this virus until it runs its course. Because that's really all you can do with any virus. And it was vitamin D, zinc, you know, like just very...
Yeah, like normal things.
Just boost those vitamin components in your body. Just support what your body needs. And, you know, I think, thankfully, our family typically has a really good immunity. We have really good, you know, genetic components, I believe. Most people, you know, we abuse our bodies in certain different ways, but we typically don't get sick, knock on wood. But we typically don't, as a family, we're not generally sick. And then there are other people that catch every single virus that blows through the wind. And so I don't know. There's a lot of theories out there, but I don't really know what they've really discovered. I just know that it was a very dark time. We lost nurses during that time. There were nurses that died during that time while caring for COVID patients, and it was very traumatic.
So let me ask you this. Why do you think that, like, do you think that all of it was overblown? And yes, obviously it was a situation that needed to be dealt with, but like, where's it all at now? What?
I think that there is, I don't think it was overblown. I think some people didn't take it seriously enough, which led to the virus being more exacerbated than it needed to be. Like, if we would have taken better precautions and people would have taken it seriously, it wouldn't have been as bad.
I mean, everybody seemed to like they were taking it pretty seriously.
No, you had the people coming in saying, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not taking that vaccine. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You're poisoning me.
Do you think that the reason that it's not around right now is because of the vaccine?
No, I think it's a few factors. I think the vaccine had some helpful components. I got the first vaccine and the first booster, but I haven't gotten it since. And I'm not choosing to. But I also believe that, you know, when a virus goes through your body, and this is something we've learned, when a virus goes through your body recognizes it, it builds up immunity, but it takes time for your body to build up that immunity. Just like when you get the flu has so many different strains. And so just because you got the flu this year and it's another strain of the flu that comes through next year, your body hasn't built an immunity to that strain. It built an immunity to the first strain.
But are they not in common? I mean,
there's things in common, but they're not completely identical. That's why there's, you know, flu A, flu B. There's all these different strains.
Yeah.
And they mutate. All of these viruses and organisms that you know flow throughout the world, they mutate over time. It's like how animals and humans have adapted over time. These viruses and these bacteria do the exact same thing. That's why you have antibiotic resistant bacteria, where you have MRSA, that's methicillin resistant bacteremia. There's all kinds of resistant bacteria because at one time they were susceptible to the bacteria, but then you use that bacteria over and over again, or that antibiotic over and over again, and the bacteria learns to adapt to be resistant to it, and now you have to come up with another antibiotic to attack that bacteria.
Do you think that the Do you think that the reason that COVID is not a big deal right now is because everybody got it? It's like herd immunity, or do you think it's more the vaccine?
I think there's an element of, I think it's herd immunity is the majority of that.
Because you don't ever hear anything about it at all.
It's still around. We see it. It's in the hospital.
So are people dying from it still?
I don't see as many people dying from it unless they are weakened. They have several comorbidities. If you're generally a healthy person, we're not seeing people.
Yeah, but that makes it just
and
the
the
same
volume
as,
is just is less.
That makes it just the same as like any other virus that people get. I mean, it's just
and it has, like, I think when it first came out, it was we didn't know how to treat it when it first came out. It was new, and it wasn't responding in the same way that other viruses were responding. But now we have gotten to a place where we know how to better support people that have it, because we've had to, unfortunately, learn the hard way, trying to manage it the best that we can.
That was such a messed up time.
It was messed up. It was dark.
What is it? It was 2021, so it was like 4 years ago.
It was 2020 through, yeah.
Yeah, because my dad got it in the December of 2020, and then it ended up taking him out in January of 21, and that's when it was revving up.
Yeah.
Right then, and then my brother in October.
Yeah.
And so, but then it just like fell off the map, it seems like.
No, it's still out there. It lingers.
Is it like a seasonal thing like the flu?
We get it.
It's just all the time? I remember when I got it, I got COVID. And
I think it's probably more prevalent in the colder.
Yeah, I think that all those are flus like that too. But I remember I got it, and I thought I was going to die for about a day, and then I was fine. But then some people just have like a headache or...
Yeah.
So it's like different for everybody.
That's why for everybody. That's why I feel like there might be a genetic component to it. Like certain genetic markers are probably more susceptible.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just all theories. I don't really know anything.
Well, everybody. This is all government conspiracy shit.
Well, no.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But I don't know.
You don't, because you haven't lived through it.
I haven't
seen it.
I lived through COVID, and I was here in 2021.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't work in it. You didn't work through it.
I didn't work through it, but whatever. So, I mean, tell me about that. I don't want to talk about COVID.
I don't either. I would rather us not even bring it up.
So, like, people come in.
I don't even want to talk about healthcare. I live it every day.
Well, I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, good.
But you know what's sad about it all is every time I ask you something and I'm trying to get some kind of advice, and you don't know anything.
You asked me about foot stuff. I don't know foot stuff.
You don't know just in general.
If you're not critically ill, I can code you.
Jack went through this.
I can do wound care.
Jack went through this time where he's like just thought he was sick about everything.
I know. And he was texting me a lot.
Oh, I know. And
I was giving him good advice.
And he was like, yeah, I texted Kimmy about this. And I said, Jack, don't text Kimmy. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about.
I gave him really good
advice. No, you didn't.
He said thank you many times. I did. I told him he needed some sunshine. He needed to breathe slow and deep. And he needed to recognize that a lot of the things that he was worried about were all in his head.
Yeah.
And they weren't real. And, I said, if this was truly what was happening, you would have this, and this happen. So you would have tests that would show this. There were things that you could do. And I said, but honestly, what you really need to focus on is making sure you have good amount of vitamin D. Don't keep yourself locked inside. You need to go exercise. You need to have some good fresh air.
This is all...
A lot of his things were anxiety provoked.
This is all horrible advice.
Okay.
No, it was fine advice, but I did...
It was.
For the record, I did tell him to quit texting you about it because you're an idiot. Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
That's fair. That's fair.
You didn't even know, like, a simple question. No. Or hold on, let me get on the Google and look it up. Well, I can do that myself.
Yeah.
So you're basically another reason that you're awful.
That's another reason I'm a terrible human. I also have the worst memory of anything on the planet. I don't remember anything.
All right, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So I am aware that that's why I
remember numbers.
That's why I'm surprised you got me there on that text there a minute ago when we were talking about that, because I was pretty sure I was right. But I will say that I think I'm slipping.
You are slipping.
I'm slipping, getting old, can't remember certain things, can't remember names.
I've had a hard time with memory for as far back as I can remember. Names, people, I don't remember. Numbers have always stuck. Like, numbers I can get. I love numbers. But
you don't love people.
Well,
I mean, it's like you are choosing what you want to hear and what you want to pay attention to.
I wish I could remember more than I do. I really do. I admire.
That's just lazy.
I admire the people that remember small details about individuals. You know, it's difficult for me. I'm just not gifted in that way.
My problem's different because, like, I remember all the little things, every single little thing.
Except our text message yesterday.
Yeah, I don't remember. Apparently, I didn't remember that correctly.
Right.
I remembered.
But I did.
I remembered a different conversation, but like I can't ever like. Maybe I'm getting like Alzheimer's or something.
I've been saying that about myself for a long time.
You've been saying that about me?
No, about myself. But I wouldn't put it past you.
I think you're just lazy. You're just not making the effort to remember what people are saying to you.
That might be. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what's an example of something that you couldn't remember that was important?
You expect me to remember?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't know.
Do you remember like your kids' birthdays?
Yes. In numbers. I got numbers.
Do you remember my birthday?
Yes.
When is it?
June 30th.
Wrong.
Is it? June 17th. July 30th. It's July 30th.
It's July 30th.
I knew it was in the
Were you just going to go?
J and a 30th. I knew that.
Were you a J and a 30th?
Yeah.
Were you just going to go through like all the numbers
until? Only two. Well, there's January, but I knew it was summer. I knew it was June or July 30th. No, numbers I have. I know socials. I know birth dates.
Isn't it funny how like right now if you said, "Hey Tim, what's my phone number?" I'd be like,
I remember my phone number from when I was a young child, a landline number.
That's what I was going to say. Like back then, I remember
1980s.
I remember all my friends' phone numbers. Yep. I remember all of that.
Yeah, my phone number and our neighbor's phone number. I remember both of those. And I was like 5, 6. I don't know.
But
I remember
if you ask me, like I remember those even now. But I'm just saying that like if you ask me, like I know what my phone number is and I know what Nikki's phone number is. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know Jack's or Eli's or anybody, yours. I don't know anybody else's phone number. Yeah. Why is that? Is it because we got, like, memory lazy?
I know my kid's phone number. It's because you don't type it. You click a name.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that seems like it could be concerning that.
But I know my kids' phone numbers. Their current phone numbers.
Close that window.
You're putting me to work, too.
Yeah.
I like the breeze.
I do, too, but it's picking up on here. That's good. You don't have to close it all the way.
Oh, good, 'cause I like that.
All right, so, okay, so you can't remember anything.
No.
You're awful.
I'm awful.
We talked how you got 3 girls.
You basically tell me every time I come over, I'm the worst human being in the world.
I mean,
it's true.
I was going to say, do you disagree?
No, it's true. It's true.
You're not very social. You're kind of mean to people. Mm-hmm. You kind of...
You'd never really want to know what I'm thinking.
No, I don't want to know what you're thinking ever.
No.
Because I don't really care.
Which is interesting that you invited me here today.
Well, I figured, maybe people would want to hear what you have to say.
Maybe people will be entertained by our love-hate relationship.
I don't know. I don't think that people care.
Nikki enjoys it.
I don't think that she does.
She does.
I think that she secretly hates me. She openly hates you. And... I guess that's going to be
She doesn't. She loves me. She loves how much I hate you and how vocal we are about it.
Well, the next time we meet, it will be with Nikki here.
Oh, fantastic. I would rather that.
And it could be here in 10 minutes.
Okay, that would be fantastic.
All right.
I'd rather talk to her.
I don't blame you. Goodbye.
Bye.